This is an A500 Mini. Okay, so it's just arrived. I've been waiting for it for the last 2 hours and it's appeared from Amazon. I purchased this myself and it is the A500 Mini from Retro Games, the guys who made the Commodore 64 Mini and the Commodore 64 Maxi as well. It comes with 25 games, or jeux in French language. It does not have an AC adapter, but it works off of, I think it's USB Type-C, so you should have a few of those knocking around that you can plug in somewhere. This is the game controller that looks somewhat reminiscent of the Amiga CD32. This is the tank mouse that is a wee bit smaller than the regular Amiga mouse, but hopefully it's just a nice feeling mouse. But it's beautiful that they've included these 2 extras in this package for only £120. I think that's a bargain considering what this can do. So on the side here we have some of the features. I'll show you that so you can see HD, save and resume, multiple scan options, CRT filter. There are all the games. Most of them I'm excited about. Some of them I've never heard of. And a couple of them I'm not entirely excited about, but I'll be spending a lot of time with this one, this one, this one, although I have that on the Evercade VS, and I do love it. This one and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So I'm happy with most of them. And crucially, this is the big thing. It would have been a fairly decent purchase with all of these, but you know, you probably would have had to twist my arm. But this makes it big time. I'll bring that up so you can have a good look at this. If you don't know what this means, then I'll do my best to explain it. Anyone else can call me wrong down in the show notes below. WHDLoad is essentially an installer for an operating system that allows you to put your own games that you own onto the A500 via USB. So you can essentially build your own library of games. Or if you don't know how to rip your own games, because that's the legal way to do it, you can find ROMs of those games that you already own and put them on a USB and play them back on this with the features that it includes. Then around here we have the contents that we're going to go through now, and down here we have attention, and up here we have another image of it. So it all looks very nice and I can't wait to dig in and get this working. I'm gonna have a joyful weekend and I can't wait to get WHDLoad right. And it's a very small box, to be honest. You know, if you think about the original A500, it was about this size. So it was about larger than what you can see on the screen. So this is really nice to get it in here and it looks gorgeous. So we got a plastic cover here. And there it is. It's not particularly heavy. As you can see, it has a full keyboard here, which obviously doesn't work because you wouldn't be able to type on this anyway. But it's a beautifully 3D printed rendition of the A500 with little lights there, and that's not the Commodore emblem. That's more the A500 emblem for this particular model. Then around the side here we have this kind of caper going on here. And then on the back we have the USB Type-C that looks snug to the casing, I will note that. HDMI out and 3 USBs for connecting your peripherals, and USB drive that could be loading things on WHDLoad. And there's the power switch. There's a 3.5mm or 3.5 inch disc drive on the side. That obviously doesn't work, or take 3.5 inch discs, but I guess it's good that no one's going to try and put anything in there. We have 4 rubberized feet. We have serial number 4504, so that gives you an idea of just how many of these have been built. And you can go out and have a look online and see how many or what number other people have at the moment. There's some... There's a screw there for opening it and having a look inside. I'm not going to do that. There are plenty of other YouTube videos that you can see that. I'm all about the games and seeing what we can do practically. You know, the Amiga was a full system that had such things as Deluxe paint and things. I'm hoping that this kind of device revolutionizes the Amiga again and makes it hip and trendy. I'll set it there just to keep it in frame. You can all lovingly stare at it whilst you're bored with me looking at these. So you've got a quick guide as to how to do things, how to plug things in, the gamepad, and then it goes into other languages. So it doesn't tell you here exactly how to do WHDLoad, but hopefully it does elsewhere. But I'm sure there's no shortage of people telling you how to do it online. Okay, which one first? We'll go for the mouse first, because it's the most iconic of the two. So the Amiga mouse was used by many over the years, and many hand cramps were from it. There was an HDMI cable there, which is a nice beige colour to match the beige of the, it's slightly off tone, but to match the beige of the original A500. And there's the USB mouse. Clicky. And we have optics on the bottom, no ball, no trackball here, and it is fairly small. I have large hands, large fat podgy hands, and yeah, it does feel quite comfortable to use. USB-A on the end of that obviously goes into the back of the Amiga. Okay, so that's the USB Type-C cable, which is in a nice beige colour as well, for powering the device. No plug, as they suggest, which means it's kind of region free. You don't have to worry about what plug you put in the box. Save some money that way. I'm all for small companies like this having that option to do. I will buy anything as long as, you know, if they don't attach a plug, and I'll provide my own. If I'm paying £1,000 for a product, it's a different story. So there we go, that's the gamepad. It feels quite good. It's sturdy, you know. It'll take some abuse, and it's not too small, it's not too large, it's just right. It's not exactly accurate to the CD32's gamepad, but yeah, it looks like it's actually going to be a lot more comfortable perhaps. And we've got A, B, X, Y, which I think is the right way, and then L and R. So great, yeah, excellent. I think most games I played on the Amiga using a joystick, unless it was a graphic adventure with the mouse. Very few of them actually used the keyboard, but it'll be interesting to see just how well this adapts with WHDLoad to games that use the keyboard. You know, it might have actually been, well, possibly a smart idea for the enter and the space bar to function, or maybe the cursors or something, maybe the number line, so that you could actually, if something says press 1 to continue, you could do that. But then you've got USBs at the back, so you can plug in another keyboard. But yeah, I think this thing looks excellent. Compared to some of the other mini consoles that we've had over the years, Retro Games have done a stellar job of nailing this. It looks gorgeous. Well done, Retro Games. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to go and plug this in and see what happens. Okay, so here we are looking at the HDMI. And for the first turn on, you can see there the little red light is going on the side of the Amiga. I've got the mouse right beside me here, and we get an A500 splash screen. So this is on a 55-inch TV. No mouse there, so we're using the joypad instead. So we're going to go with English, that would be sensible. B next. I'm going to stick with 50 Hertz because I believe that most of the games are tuned to 50 Hertz. We can run a television test. Which takes 15 seconds. And there we're in. And we have some rather nice artwork in the background. We have a description of what the game looks like. If we press up, we got key bindings, so you can see what you need to do during the game. Close that. Down brings us to our save games, of which we obviously don't have any yet. Menu gives us our options. Display options, we have fixed moderate zoom and screen fit. Enable CRT effect, and then enable image smoothing. Smooths the game image to look less blocky on a large screen. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to keep it on screen fit, and we'll keep off CRT effect for the time being, and we'll keep it on image smoothing. System options, mouse sensitivity. Bit confused as to why the mouse isn't working yet, but maybe it doesn't work on this particular screen. Maybe I didn't plug it in properly. Music volume and power LED mimic Amiga behavior. Switches the LED from always on to normal Amiga behavior. We'll turn that on. That probably means that the little red light will flash while the game is loading, hopefully. Language. Advanced options, television settings. We've been through that. Oh. Use screen edges. Enable this option if your TV can display full 720. Okay, without cropping, we're fine with that. System information. So obviously we're on build 1.01. 1.00. Strange. Legal notices. Stuff. Factory reset. We're not going to bother with that. And shutdown device. This will discard any unsaved game. Right. So we've got Alien Breed. We scroll across here and we get more descriptions of the games. Arcade Pool. What happened? Does it loop round again when we eventually make it to the end? That's a nice enough sound. It's not particularly off-putting or anything. There we go. Yeah, it comes back round again to Alien Breed from Zool. Suppose I could have worked that out. We can favorite games as well. So if I go to Cadaver and hit that, we can give it a star rating. So the more you play it, so it's not that it puts it in a particularly different place, it just gives it a star rating. Okay, fair enough. Then we can sort by author, by genre, by year, by publisher, by favorite. Aha, useful. All right. Well, I'm going to go straight into one game that I saw there and thought, oh, I'd like to play that. So we'll hit that. And it loaded within seconds. So we're going for single player, name. We're not bothered with that then. We'll just hit practice and we'll go to my favorite track, which is the roller coaster. Does appear to be a bit cut off at the bottom there, so we'll have to have a play around with that. I'm just noticing on the camera, that's a wee bit better framed. Good beefy sound coming off this. I don't know if it's coming across on the microphone at all. Okay, so I've been playing this for a little while and I've just noticed hitting the menu button brings up a little on-site keyboard as well that allows you to be able to press buttons that may appear on the screen and require you keyboard access. So it's a very simple and effective way to do it. I could have entered my name using this. It's very nice, and then menu just pushes it away. It's not obtrusive, fits in quite nicely. Then if we hit the home button, it actually takes us to home. Okay, so that would make sense. But we have a little picture-in-picture mode up in the top right-hand corner there of where we were in the last game we happened to be playing. So I'm concerned about the mouse. I haven't been able to use the mouse just yet. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen under the description, there's joypad, mouse, and a person. If I go to the Speedball 2, it's joypad and 2 people. so it gives you an indication of what to expect from the game, which is quite nice. So if I go into Simon the Sorcerer, I'm hoping that I should be able to use the mouse on this game. And I have mute the sound just so I don't get a strike against me on, or copyright whatever, on YouTube. So clicking the mouse did actually work there. It seemed to skip, so I don't think there's any issues with the mouse right now. It took a wee while for that one to load, but maybe it's a bit more ambitious, or maybe it's not quite as optimized for the Amiga. Alright, so the mouse does work. I am feeling the tiniest amount of lag, the tiniest. So we've got to open fridge. The door appears to be stuck shut. Okay, just testing there to see exactly if this was a talkie version or not. I vaguely remember there being something about Chris Barry doing the voice in this game. Or that might be another game entirely. But there doesn't seem to be any voice, it is just music, constant music. Alright, so we've shoved in a USB just to see what happens here. And it says USB media access. Now notably this is between Titus and Worms, so in alphabetical order I guess that's where it go. Initially, whenever I first put it in, I was a bit concerned because it wasn't showing up, because it was like that, and I figured it would go between Zool and Alien Breed, but it's alphabetical order so it goes there. And it shows the gamepad, mouse, multiple people, and USB. So if we select this, it brings up Media Select, and it asks us to go to this website, which takes us to Retro Games Biz, to get the WHDLoad package that is specifically built for the A500 Mini. Okay, so I went to the website, I got the USB, I downloaded what it said, I formatted it to FAT32, and I dumped it on there. I had to create a folder inside the A500 folder that you can see here, and called it Games. Went and found copies of the games that I own. So we have the A500 there. If we go into that, we get the WHD boot, and then we have game data, key maps, and save get data. Then this is the games folder that I created, and we select that, and these are the games that I own. Now I did go and get a bunch of different copies of certain games because there's version 1.1 and version 3 and things of different ones, and I'd noticed people on Twitter saying that they were having trouble with The Secret of Monkey Island and only a particular version of that works. So I'm going to have a quick go at Castle Master here because I put it as one of my favourite games ever made, and see if it works. I hit select, and now it's changed the bottom here where it says I can have game settings and start game. So if I go to menu to see what the game settings are, we can have our crop width and crop height, vertical offset, then we can auto center it, or we can play it in NTSC mode, which will not do that because we're on PAL. We can pick which we use, the mouse and joystick, our CD32 pad. So if we change that to CD32 pad, because essentially that's what this pad is, isn't it? And then map gamepad. So CD32 rewind, CD32 fast forward. Maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe I'll change it back to joystick just in case I've borked it. Joystick left, joystick right. Fire up, down, left, right. Show virtual keyboard. Okay, that seems fair enough, but you can press the red button to edit them and go around and select. That's the wee joystick that you can buy. So we'll go to CD32 pad then. And the mouse speed. Okay, go back and we'll press home and see if it works. All right, no luck with that. So we're going to try a different game. And I'm going to go straight for one that I saw someone else playing. So I might have a better round of success for that, with that. Well, that's a good start. We're actually getting into being able to control it. So if we hit begin quest, level 1, and we can walk. We can up is jump. Yeah, forgetting how awful it is to push up to jump. So all in, this seems to be a pretty tidy little package, but the games that come with it are good fun. It's a really lovely unit. The controllers are great, the mouse is great, and the added bonus of being able to get to all the games that you have, that you currently own, makes for a terrifically unique experience. The graphics are good and they're not fuzzy. I haven't felt the need to play around with some of those other settings, but maybe I should. I think you have to come out of it, then go into here and go to your display options, and we'll go to fixed size. We'll enable the CRT and turn off the smoothing, and it still looks pretty terrific. You've got your scan lines on there. The CRT aspect is kind of nice to see. I don't really notice the smoothing not being there. I haven't played this game before, so I'm not terribly good at it. And I'm trying to talk whilst turn and drive and things, so yeah, I'm not great at it. There's plenty to love, plenty to love. And if you're an Amiga fan, I'd fully recommend going out and picking one of these up. Obviously, it's always better to play it on the original hardware, but the hardware is getting progressively more expensive and actually unreliable. My Amiga 1200, I don't like to use too often because I've got a funny feeling that it's not going to last all that long. The odd time whenever I've gone to turn it on, it doesn't work. So this will take the stress off that, and it's such a small form factor. Hopefully we'll start to see people develop more and more for it. For £114, I believe it is today on Amazon, this is an absolute steal. I'm really chuffed with this. I love this device. and I'm going to be spending an awful lot of time with it in the future, and I reckon you should too. If you're watching this, you're curious, this is something you're going to want to have. So let me know what you think in the comments box down below. Hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications, and other than that, take care.